Alright, welcome back, fellow humans. We just cut the front fenders on this Jeep Cherokee, so now we're going to move on to the back. If you want to see, the front ones are right there. And so we just got to cut the back ones up, cut the front already. So we've marked it out how we're going to cut it, because we're going to cut it and then fold it in underneath, just because on the way this is built, it's just kind of pinched weld here. So there's like two pieces of metal that if you just cut it straight over, it's not going to look very good. And, well, it's going to start trying to peel up against itself, and we're gonna basically go it to this, well, fold it to this line, so have a nice even shape cut to match the front up there, which is looking pretty good. And so we're gonna cut it a few more times on the corners just to make it easier to fold on both sides, but the other middle stuff we can get a little bit bigger, but I'm gonna cut it pretty small so it's easier to fold. So hopefully that's the plan anyways. So without further ado, let's get in there, start cutting in those slots, and then we can start folding them over. So let's do it. Alright guys, a lot of banging, a lot of cutting, and a lot of time later, we have it almost completely done. There's a little bit of touch-up stuff I'm going to do after I do the other side, but I'm figuring that's good enough for now. So it's not bad. Just a few things I've got to learn along the way, but otherwise it's pretty good. So, got one side done. Now we just gotta move on to the other side, but we're just gonna flick that one just like we did this other side. So we're gonna flick it, and we're gonna be wow. We're gonna flick our fingers, and it's gonna be done. So let's do this. Ready? Get set, go. Boom, it is done. Okay, so we can take a look at it now. So, let's see what I did. So, I went ahead and did it slightly different. So here's a few tips for you. So when you go to cut the lines, you go slightly below the edge so you don't have these marks. So if you can see it, you can barely see the marks. So that's where I messed up on it. The other side is slightly worse than this one. But if you make sure you keep it below that, it just adds a cleaner edge, and it doesn't wrap up with slots in it. So it makes it cleaner. So that's a little tip. Make sure you don't go too high on the cuts going up. And then after that, I didn't have any, well, let's see, the paint started flaking off. Right there, you can see, but then I just came back, I sanded it down. Well, I came back, I taped it off, and then I sanded it slightly, and then I went ahead and spray painted it another silver color. I didn't have the exact same color, but I had a fairly light silver. It's probably a little too light, but you can't tell because it's on the seam. You might be able to tell like right here, because this is the actual color compared. I don't know. It's a little hard to tell, so it blends in okay, but I'm going to find the original color eventually. But I just wanted to make sure it didn't rust, because it was already flaking a little bit. And then I also came back in with some black paint and just kind of covered up those little notches inside on each side there. So it just kind of cleaned it up a little bit, so it looks pretty good from the back. It definitely gives it a lot bigger stance. We got the front ones done as well. So yeah, and now it's done. I completed the other side as well. I did the same thing and taped it off, put some new paint, newish paint on it, but as you can tell, there's more grooves in it and messes up. And this was the first side, so I got an excuse saying it was the first time and first ever time I've ever done one of these. So and it took a while. So it's a good 5 hours for both of these fenders at least. So if you're gonna do this, it's probably an all-day kind of thing. So yeah, or multiple days. Yep, and I blackened the inside as well on each one of those. Same silver. I'm gonna have to find a darker one, but that's pretty much it. So, If you want to see the front ones done, I'll post them right there, and then you can see how those ones were done as well. This Jeep is coming along pretty good, and yeah, just hang on, and we'll see some more videos if you want. So, with that, thanks for watching. I will see you later. Whoop!